ran about the same lap time, only 0.03 of a second that last lap. I think one thing that's helping Tony Stewart, that car is driving so good, and when it drives like that, you can back off the throttle, let the car roll a lot more, and now obviously you're using less fuel like that. That's why he's not slowing down as much doing all of this.
3 laps to go. 1.7 seconds. Back to Kevin Harvick.
Tony still has enough lead to soft pedal to the end.
It was a year ago at New Hampshire. Tony Stewart led the first race of the championship. Ran out of gas while leading, coming to the white flag. He's coming to the white flag this time, leading with fuel mileage in play. 1.4 seconds back to Kevin Harvick, a lap and a half to go.
And that team never recovered from running out of fuel leading that race either. Really affected the rest of their chase. Does he have enough today?
Is somebody going to run out and lose a chunk of points? Will the lead change hands in the final lap, or can Stewart begin his championship with a breakthrough win? There are cars on the apron running out of fuel as Stewart takes the white flag. It was Kyle Busch, Andy referenced a second ago, on the apron out of fuel. Half a lap to go.
Now Gordon's out of fuel.
All clear, keep coming.
You'll see Gordon there. Matt Kenseth, Jimmy Johnson, all slowing out of gas. Tony Stewart, the fuel holds up. Tony Stewart opens the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup with his first win of the season. There are cars running out of gas everywhere around this racetrack. Matt Kenseth getting pushed by the 38 car. He doesn't want that on the last lap of this race.
Well, he got pushed all the way down the back straightaway and all the way through 3 and 4. And that is illegal on the last lap.
Officials will look at it. Look at the guys running out of gas. Jimmy Johnson was out. Kyle Busch was out.
Paul Menard's out.
Trevor Bayne is slow on the apron.
Good job, guys. I'm proud of you.
Allmendinger ran out of gas. Looks like Ryan Newman ran out of gas. Jeff Gordon ran out of gas. Look at them all. They got across the start-finish line and just hooked the left onto pit road because they're all out of gas. But that car had it all figured just right.
Wow, what a job Tony Stewart did right there in saving fuel, staying out front also.
Calculations were right, Vince.
Darian Grubb gave Tony Stewart a great race car, and Stewart saved the fuel he needed. How concerned were you as those final laps were ticking down, especially after the way the chase opened last year at Loudon with running out of fuel?
That did come back into mind a little bit, but just awesome race car, awesome job by the pit crew. Tony did an awesome job. It's the way to start the chase right there.
Yeah, they did it. Great job by this crew. They got the job done over the wall today, big time, Alan.
Tony Stewart with his first win of the season. We talked just a few minutes ago about how last year's championship run started off on the wrong foot and they never recovered. And earlier in the day, I mentioned what a win here might do for this team.
Absolutely, they have to be on top of the world with this win, looking that Loudon next weekend where his cars finished first and second. Tony finished second to his teammate Ryan Newman, so a lot of momentum here.
And our Goodyear winning moment, Tony Stewart with a little lap before the fans holding that checkered flag. Saturday night short track racing tradition. No surprise Smoke would spend his victory celebration that way. Now, the whole finishing order kind of turned inside out on the last lap. Jamie Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to get third.
Yes, he starts off 19th today, and they just made the right adjustments. Those fundamental changes seem to really help today. You guys made the right call. How happy are you with the third place finish today, Junior?
I got to thank the team. First off, we had really, really good pit stops all day long. Those guys have worked hard to try to improve, and they really did today. And the car was a bit of a struggle in some parts of the race, but we made some changes at the end. The car was really, I think, one of the fastest cars on the track, and we drove up in the top 10 there. We started trying to save a little gas, and we made it further than most. So I'm pleased with the engine, the guys at the engine shop, the guys that put the car together in the fab shop. All the guys in the 88, 48 shop, this whole team. We worked hard all weekend trying to just, be smart. and it was a good weekend for us.
And you gained 6 positions in the points. He's 6th now. Dave?
And Carl Edwards is 3rd in the championship right now after a 4th place run. Talk about your day.
It was really good, and it was really bad, and at the end it was pretty good. So I'm happy with that. That's a strong finish. I got to thank Aflac for being on board. They've been behind us 100%, and we came into this race feeling a lot of confidence. In the first half, we led a bunch, and I felt really good. And there at the end, Bob and Jason did a great job of telling me to save fuel and giving me updates on where everyone was. So a great finish for us, for Ford, Scott's, Aflac, everybody. It's a good start. We'll go to Loudon and hopefully run like we did at Richmond.
GT Academy, Tuesday at 10 Eastern, only on Speed, the Motorsports Authority.
And I'm not sure crew chief Gil Martin was confident that Kevin Harvick had enough. When he turned you loose with 7 to go, how comfortable were you that you had enough fuel to make it?
I wasn't ever comfortable, but I knew I had saved a little bit under caution and a little bit at the beginning of that run, and they felt comfortable with the lap time. So everybody on our Budweiser Chevrolet did a great job, and knowing exactly how far we can go, we ran out coming onto pit road there. So good first race for us.
And the gamble paid off. Kevin Harvick, the points leader, by 7 points, Alan.
Harvick finished 9/10 of a second behind Tony Stewart, who gets his first win of the 2011 season in the first race of the Chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. We head to Napa Victory Circle to hear from the race winner.
Tony Stewart getting ready to climb out of his race car, and what a surge his team has made, going from 9th in the points to start this chase to 2nd in the point standings. And it was a big win for this team. They have been so close throughout the course of this season and hadn't been able to get to victory lane, but today they do it. Now, I know you weren't feeling so good yesterday, but this makes you feel better, I'm sure. How big is it to start the chase with a win here today?
Oh, it's huge. I had a migraine all day yesterday, so I'm kind of glad we didn't race. But, man, this Office Depot Mobile 1 Chevy was awesome. And all of our partners with Burger King and Coca-Cola and U.S. Army, Tornadoes, El Monterey, Haas Automation, all these guys. We've had a rough year, so this is a good way to start it off.
Congratulations. Tony Stewart has now won a race for the 13th consecutive season.
Now let's go down the Gatorade victory lane.
Terrific day for Tony Stewart, and really needed.
Yeah, really needed, but just shows, we were talking about maybe 6 or 7 teams strong. This obviously adds one more to the mix at least.
Yeah, this started a few weeks ago when he had the great run at Atlanta, and then last week at Richmond, and now the win here.
Now, with all the cars running out of fuel on the last laps, and some other things that were going on, like Matt Kenseth getting that push, NASCAR says Kenseth will become the first car 1 lap down by getting that assistance on the last lap. And with all the people running out of fuel, right-hand column, look at where they finished. Jimmy Johnson went back to 10th, Kyle Busch to 23rd, Matt Kenseth to 21st. And that does include Matt Kenseth's penalty, by the way. And again, NASCAR will go back and review again the scoring to be sure with everybody running out of the last lap, but that's what we've got at this point, and we think that's going to be a pretty accurate picture as we head off to New Hampshire next Sunday. New Hampshire, Dover, Kansas, Charlotte, Talladega, Martinsville. Going to have some great racing as we decide this championship. Hope you'll join us at the racetrack. That's how, NASCAR.com/tickets. And of course, all the telecasts. ESPN, with the exception of the Saturday night race from Charlotte, which will be on ABC. Race 1 in the chase, a final thought?
Lived up to all the expectations right there. That was incredible, and I think we've got 9 more just like that.
Yeah, I know, it did live up to the hype, and the hype is that these strategy races are in play for this chase, and you better be ready for them.
Race number 2 to a flat mile track, New Hampshire. Next Sunday, coverage ESPN starting at 1 Eastern Time. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Tony Stewart wins in Chicagoland.